in, I'm Maeve. If you're working with injuries and you want me to know, please put them in the chat. Hand on belly, hand on heart. Just take a moment with your knees bent to just settle. And to feel that wave of breath coming in and out of your body. As always, just noticing what you bring onto your mat today. Physically, mentally, emotionally, how do you arrive? For me, this is the first real thing I've done today, other than, the usual momming morning things, but my first sort of agenda item is this. And if it is for you, just notice how that brings you to your practice, or maybe this is midday for you, and what does that mean for you in your practice? Open your arms out to the sides like a cactus. Press the back of the arms down, stretch the elbows out of the shoulder socket, hands above the elbows, palms facing up, push all of your fingernails down, all your knuckles down. And then pick up your right leg, cross your right ankle on your left thigh. And you can adjust the position of the left foot, however, so that you feel centered and stable. And then flexing this right ankle, pull the pinky toe toward the left knee. And gently moving that right shin toward the front of your mat. And then depending on kind of the bendiness in different parts of your body, if your spine is pretty bendy here, see if you can root the back ribs just a little bit, the front ribs soften down so that you're not puffing up. Even if you're not, prone to going into back bends, just notice the position of your spine here. Keep the arms, take the legs to the left, please. Breath is soft and steady and even. If you're comfortable with Ujjayi Pranayama, you're welcome to, but more than anything, the breath is soft and steady and even. Draw back to center. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Pick up the legs. Inhale, open the arms overhead. And then exhale, curl, 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 curl. Shoulders and hips lift up. Inhale, open. Head releases, arms reach overhead. Exhale, curl up. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then foot comes back down, arms back out to the side, right foot down, left ankle crosses. Reset the shoulders. So stretch the elbows out from the shoulders, push the backs of the hands down on fingernails. Flexing this left foot and drawing the pinky toe toward that right knee. And then gently pressing the shin forward, expanding the collarbones, feeling length from inner left groin to inner left knee. And then checking in with your spine position. And keeping the shoulders, the arms, the hands rooted, drop the knees over to your right. And just take a few breaths there. Yeah. Really beautiful. Really nice. Draw back to center with your inhale. Take the arms straight up. Lift the legs up. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, Everything curls up. Inhale and open. Exhale. Keep moving with the breath here. And we're working to slide this left shin toward the triceps. One more. Come through center, happy baby, or knees into chest, whichever suits you better. So if you're new to me, I'm very much about you having the opportunity to play, to create, to follow your best internal teacher to what you need today. So I'll give you an offering and you'll take the things that work for you, and the things that don't work for you, you'll just leave behind, or you'll pick something else in place of it. Bring the knees through center. Hold the backs of the legs. Start to push the legs forward. Let the legs lift you up into Navasana. Knees can be bent. Legs do not have to be straight here. And we're going to hold on initially. So with the hands on the legs, broaden the collarbones. Set the shoulder blades into your back. You can take the elbows a little wide and actually pull the arms or the hands against the leg, to get really broad here. And then shift toward the sitting bones. Notice if you're rooting back into your tailbone and kind of move toward your sitting bones. Fantastic, yes. All the while, the breath is constant. One more full breath here. And then cross at your shins, bring your hands around. Come onto hands and knees, please. Spread the fingers. Start to reach the thumbs toward each other and gently spiral the pinky fingers toward the edges of the mat. Spread the collarbones, but also spread the shoulder blades. And then take your right leg straight back with the toes tucked. Push down into the hands, front ribs gently into back ribs. Push down into the left foot from the inner right thigh, from the glutes, from the hip. You're going to lift the right leg up, and it's not very high. It's like right at spine height, right at hip height. Beautiful. And then notice how the right hand gets really heavy, well, for many of us, and the left hand starts to get lighter. See if you can still stay balanced between the two arms as best you can. Can you make the right leg any longer? Keeping the toes pointing down to the ground, tuck the left toes, and then slowly into three-legged dog. And without taking this right leg super high, think about taking it long behind you and then slowly lifting it up. One more inhale. Draw your knee into your chest. Place your right foot next to your right hand, and then stay here. Hands can be on the floor, hands can be on blocks at any height. Back leg really powerful and strong, high into the left toes, and then the gaze starts to draw forward. Right hip hugs in and back. Left thigh pushes toward the sky. And as you're pressing the hands down, gently draw the front ribs up into the back body. Yeah. And as we do that, sometimes we have the tendency to kind of round the back and to sort of come into a crunch, and instead, keep that energy of the ribs drawing in, but then pull the heart forward and broaden the collarbones. If this is enough, stay here. If you want, hands come to your hips. If you want a little more, the arms stretch back or overhead. But the position of the torso has not changed from when the hands were on the ground. Notice your breath, notice your thoughts. Stay in the pose. Back heel roots down. Rise up, warrior two. So classically, heel to arch. I prefer a little bit wider on that front heel, more like heel to heel, but you'll find what works for you by feeling what you feel here, balancing the pelvis, noticing where the foot needs to be in order to give you that sense of centering and balance and ease. Breathe out into the fingertips. With an inhale, straighten the right leg, pivot the right toes to the left, square off the feet so that the front and the back of the mat are parallel to the edges of your feet, or your feet are parallel to the mat. Hands at the hips. Inhale, heart to sky. Exhale, coming forward, Prasarita Padottanasana, releasing your hands down onto the ground or onto two blocks. And then inhale, pull the spine forward and melting back down. So if you're pretty mobile in this direction and you find like your head is coming onto the floor with a lot of ease and you actually feel like you're kind of running out of space, consider bringing your feet a little closer together so that you have some room to actually fold. These are beautiful, really nice. Yeah. Really nice. Last two breaths. Thumbs draw toward each other, elbows hug gently in line so that the hand, the elbow, and the shoulder are in one straight line, parallel arms. Inhale, draw the heart forward, the spine forward. Walk your hands around to the top of the mat. Step back to plank, please. Pause in plank, thighs to sky, heart forward. Energize those arms. Thumbs draw toward each other, pinky fingers gently spiral out. So we've got these pillars of arms. Keep this strength, just put your knees down on the ground. Stretch the left leg back, toes are tucked. So same amount of strength that you just had in plank, but you physically don't weigh as much right now because this knee is down. But find that strength. Slowly, inner left thigh lifts, glutes engaged to lift that left leg up behind you. Both hands stay down, please. As you do that, notice if the outer left hip feels like it's lifting up and trying to turn open. Outer left hip softens down, inner left thigh lifts, knee to the sky, foot to the wall behind you. Or to the space behind you in case there's no wall immediately behind you. Start to tuck the right toes. Front ribs to back ribs gently. Lift the right knee, slowly into three-legged dog. And instead of whipping the leg up really high, instead see how long you can make it. And then slowly lifting it higher from the hip, from the belly. One more inhale. Knee into your chest. And then place your left foot next to your left hand. Stay up on the back toes. Use blocks if you have them. And then send this line of energy out the back heel, through the right leg, through the spine, through the heart, out the crown of the head. Energetically, pull the feet toward each other. Push the left foot down, draw it toward the back of your mat. Push the right foot down, draw it toward the front of your mat. And then you can stay here. This is perfect. Or you'll bring your hands to your hips. You can extend them behind you or overhead. to rise up, root the back heel down. Virabhadrasana 2. Beautiful. Yes. Yes. Still drawing those feet toward each other. Don't be afraid to play with this dance lengthwise, widthwise. When you feel steady, take the gaze out over that left middle finger. And rather than holding the arms up, extend them long. So reach hand from hand, wrist away from wrist. Beautiful. Next inhale, straighten the front leg, pivot the left toes around. Take the hands behind the hips, lace the fingers. You can shorten the stance if you need it or narrow it. Pull the heart to the sky, inhale. And then exhale, drawing forward. Since I have a tendency to hyperextend my elbows, I do my best to keep a little bend here and focus the intention into the shoulder girdle and not into the inner elbow and overstretching it. So just be aware of that since it's fairly common. Inhale, halfway up, just halfway. Release the hands down, walk your hands around to the top of your mat, please. Step back to plank. Take a couple breaths here. Firm the legs, kneecaps on the thighs. Calves to shins, shins to calves. Inhale, bend the elbows. Exhale, chaturanga or the floor you choose. Cobra or upward facing dog with your inhale. And downward facing dog with your exhale. Lift your heels with an inhale. Bend your knees with your exhale. Bring your feet up to your hands. Walk, step, jump your feet there. Halfway with your inhale. Fold down, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. And bring your hands into your heart with your exhale. Soften the gaze, pause here. Stack your body up. Start to feel that rhythm of breath. Or continue to feel that rhythm of breath. Hands release down. Inhale, reach up, gather energy. Exhale, hinge from the hips to bow into a forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Pull the heart forward, the gaze a little forward. Plant your hands, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Rise to your toes, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look at your hands, bring your feet to your hips. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Inhale, offer your heart. Plant your hands, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale and rise. Pinkies down, pinky toes down, downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Rise, inhale. And hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhale, offer your heart, chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, heart to sky. Take it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. And fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. Utkatasana, bend your knees. Sink the hips back and down. Balance your weight in your feet. So you don't have to send it all into your heels. Keep the balance of the front foot, the back foot. Yeah, really nice. Very nice. Beautiful. Right knee rises up. Take the right knee out to the right side. Take a few breaths here. So just keeping the hips straight ahead and just opening the knees. So not feeling like you have to crank the leg around. Just natural, open it out to the right. Beautiful. Pin the left hip in. And then reach down, find your foot, bring it to your inner leg anywhere. Could be lower leg, upper leg. Yes, Vrikshasana. Good. I think our arms were up. I just brought them to my heart after that, but back up again is fantastic. Front ribs are softening. Using that right foot against the left leg to find more length. Less about cranking the leg open and more about sending the knee away from the other leg. Beautiful. About 4 more breaths. Bring your hands into your heart. Turn that knee forward. Place your right foot down. Stand on your right foot, so switching your weight into the right leg, opening into half moon. So right leg is your standing leg, left leg goes back, and then open up the arms. You can use a block under your right hand. Really nice. Yes, well done. Drop up on that standing leg. Deep external rotation in that right hip, that standing hip, beautiful. And then find length in that back leg. So if you can think back to 3-legged dog or when we were on hands and knees and you were extending the one leg, that's that back leg. I'm going to start to soften the front leg. Reverse warrior. Land lightly with that left foot. Rise up and back. One more breath in. And then exhale, come around with both arms. Don't bring them to the ground though. Just bring them back behind your body. Make sure your stance is wide enough that you feel stable. Extend the heart forward. So we've been here. Option, take those arms overhead. Lift the inner left thigh. Push off the toes, Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. You're rising into this right leg. Left leg is stretching back. Yet again, that back leg is doing what you did on hands and knees when we sent the leg back. So inner left thigh lifting. Glutes helping to extend the hip and the leg. then chair pose. Bring the feet together. Where's your breath? Your left knee is going to rise up, standing up. Take the left knee out to the side. And yet again, you're not cranking the leg out, you're just finding length here. Pin the right hip in. Reach down, find the foot, or not, and put the foot on the inner right leg. Tree pose. So seeing if you can get those left toes to face down toward the inner right ankle. And there's this amazing balance between the foot pressing into the leg meeting that pressure. And then we balance work and ease, and we hopefully start to find this place where we almost feel like a little floaty, like some of the work falls away, some of the ease steps in, so there's just enough work to hold us here and to discover new space in the pose, but not so much that we're gripping and resisting. Bring the knee forward, and then bring your hands into your heart, and place the left foot down. You're standing on your left foot, you're lifting your right leg, and we're coming into half moon. As much work in this top leg as there is in the bottom leg. Engage around the bones, support the joints. Breathe into your back ribs, like you're breathing into wings. Yeah. So we've got this transition coming. Start to bend the standing leg. And you're going to reach the right leg back into reverse warrior. You might not land perfectly, fix it. It doesn't have to be like a performance, of any kind. Draw the feet toward each other. So you have another inch to give. Give a little more breath. On the in or on the out, on both. One more inhale. And then bring the arms around without touching the floor. Come up onto the back toes if you need to adjust your stance. Bring the foot a little wider if it's there for you, if it's needed. And then stretch the arms back. And just pause. Front ribs up. Shorten belly button to pubic bone. Lengthen tail toward the back heel. Maybe sweep the arms overhead. Push off the back foot. Virabhadrasana 3. Inner right thigh lifting. Thigh to the sky. Pin the left hip in. Yes. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Rise up to stand with the right knee lifted. Cross your right ankle on your left thigh, sinking down. Balance your weight in your standing foot. Pin this left hip in. Send the hips back equally. Inhale, rise up, bring your hands into your heart. Place your right foot on the floor. Half moon, so just what we did before. Opening up. And then reverse warrior. Tend these transitions. Come around with the arms. Reach your hands for your left heel. Square off the chest. Inner left thigh lifts. And then take off into warrior three. Left knee rises up. Cross your ankle on your thigh. And then sink down. Really beautiful. Keep flexing this left ankle. Pull the toe, the pinky toe toward the knee. Really good. Inhale, rise up. Hands into your heart. Place the left foot down. Standing on the left foot. Opening into half moon. Bend the front leg. Soft transition. Reverse warrior. Yeah. Come around with the arms. Come onto the back toes. Take off into warrior three. This time we come to chair, please. And forward fold with your exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise and open, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left foot, left leg stretches back, your left leg. Keep the leg really strong. Lift high into your right toes. Bend your right knee and then look at the space between your hands. We're going to bring our right foot between our hands. We're just going to pop it up. Place the left foot down. Root the back heel. Front knee bends generously. Rise up the center of Virabhadrasana 1. Yeah. Beautiful. Seam the back foot down. Take one more full breath in. Your exhale takes you into Chaturanga. Skip it if you don't need it. Modify it. If there's a better path for you, take it. From downward facing dog, right leg stretches back. You can also just step your left foot forward. So if this doesn't work for you, go for it. Lift the left heel, bend the left knee, look forward. Hop your left foot forward. Right foot lightly behind. Root the heel, lift the hips, lift the pelvis to lift the spine. Warrior 1. Right ribs draw around. Right shoulder draws around. Yes. Very nice, very nice. Last breath in. Hands down to the ground. Step back, Chaturanga. Move through Vinyasa or simply go to downward facing dog. Yes. Really nice. Smooth out your breath. Good, Andy. Yeah. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Bow down, exhale. Chair, inhale. Press up to stand. And draw your hands into your heart. Little pause here. So we're going to move through Surya Namaskar B. That transition of kicking forward, totally optional. You don't have to take it. You can keep it classical and just step your foot forward if you want. I'll cue the lifted leg, but you can just go classical if it's your preference. Inhale, chair. Forward fold, exhale. Half forward fold, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. If you want, left leg lifts. The right foot's going to come forward for warrior one. Rise with an inhale. And your exhale takes you into chaturanga. Inhale, lift. And down dog. Right leg back if you want, otherwise just step the left foot forward, left foot top of the mat, and warrior one. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise, inhale. Dog pose, exhale. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Chair, inhale. Press up to stand and bring your hands to your heart. We're going to go one more time. Inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway, inhale. Chaturanga. Rise, inhale. Dog, exhale. Left leg back if you want to kick it, otherwise just step the right foot forward. One breath to rise. And then vinyasa. You're going to take the left side on your own, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Smooth out the breath. Lift the heels, inhale. Bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale, yeah. Fold, exhale. Chair, inhale, pause. Right knee lifts. Cross right ankle and left thigh. And then sinking down. Stay here, maybe sink a little deeper. Maybe bring your hands down to the ground. Lots of options from here. Yes, we can go to the arm balance, but you can also just fold over here and not worry about taking that weight in your hands. If you're looking for flying pigeon, by all means, let's fly. You're going to wrap that right foot around your left tricep. And then you plant the hands. And first step is just tipping forward and picking up the left foot. And then if you want to extend that leg, it's this little game of physics. It's that warrior three back leg. It's that three-legged dog back leg. Beautiful. Last two breaths. Well done, well done. We're going to come back out the same way we came in. And then knee up. Left hand to right knee. Maybe to the foot. Your call. Little twist here. Really nice. Come back around to center. You're going to stay on your left foot. Bring both hands down. If you have a block, I would suggest using it. Both hands come down. Block under the right hand if you have it. If not, you'll make do. Left hand's going to come to your left hip. Push that right leg back. Start to turn to the left. And then maybe that left hand stacks up on top. Revolved, half moon. Breath. So good. Yes, really good. Bring your feet together. Come back into chair pose. Yes. Well done. Reset. Use this as a reset. To rebalance, to recenter. If your breath escaped you, no big deal. Come back to it now. And then left knee lifts up. Cross the ankle and the thigh. And then start to sink. And this is yours to do with as you want. So it's our second time here. Explore. You want to work toward the arm balance. There's this balance between cat's pose in the back and broadening the collarbones. So moving the shin toward the triceps, the chest toward the shin. Come into the hands and start to tip. Key here is using that left foot around the right arm. Thumbs pull toward each other. Pinky fingers spiral out a little bit. Elbows hug in, yes. Really good, really good. Come back out the same way you came in, lifting up. Right hand comes to your left knee, or maybe to your foot. So energizing both legs. Feeling the width, hand to hand, across the chest, across the upper back. Come back around through center. Take the leg through, bring both hands down, blocks or floor. Get really long, and then right hand to your right hip, left hand block or ground, and then start to turn open to the right. Really nice. And then we just stack the hand on top. So sometimes we get this illusion that by lifting the arm and cranking it back, we're going to open up more. Not so. Open from the chest, open from the shoulder. This is just a continuation of that energy. And it's not about taking the arm back behind you, it's about going straight up. And then into chair, top of the mat. And sink down as low as you can. We're going to find our way back into boat pose. And this time, option to hold on like we did in the beginning and give yourself that lift, but maybe you don't need that. Maybe you can tap into it on your own. Legs do not have to be straight. Bend the knees, hold on. Slowly roll back, but not all the way, just part way. Just part way, keep the shoulders up, keep the shoulder blades off the ground. Kick the feet out from the knees, stay and breathe. Release the arms if it's okay, and then extend the legs if it's okay. Low boat. Really nice. Stay in the breath. Come back up into boat. And then lower down. Lifting up and lowering down. You can use your knees, use your arms. It's not cheating in any means. You're using the props that are available to you, which is your own body. Yep, that's perfect. So good. Next time we come down, bend the knees, release the shoulders, release the head, turn the palms to the sky, broaden your chest, and then broaden your upper back. So from shoulder to shoulder it gets wider. Feet are in parallel. Knees stretch forward as you press the feet down to lift the hips. And then maybe slide the hands behind the back, lace the fingers, and then maybe from there pulling the shoulders directly under, not down, just directly under. So the sides of the shoulders start to wrap under. Outer shins gently in. Heels pull toward your shoulders, knees move away from the hips. Last inhale, releasing down with your exhale. Take a pause, receive the pose. How'd that land on you? If it felt great and you want to repeat the same thing, you'll do the same thing. If you want to go a little deeper, Urdhva Dhanurasana is available to you. If you need a little more support, put a block or something under your hips and just take a kind of a supported bridge. Setting up for your second back bend of 3. Inhale, rise up. If you're coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana, your hands are by your ears and shoulders. Use your hands and your feet equally. Use your arms and your legs equally. Soften your jaw, your lips. Smooth your breath. Last inhale. Carefully releasing down. Take a pause, feel the breath, receive the pose and see what you need for your last one. So bridge pose, upward facing bow, any variations on those, and I'll demonstrate block under hips if you want a little more supported, relaxing. You'll come here. Last back bend, when you're ready, rising up. You can also just skip it. Last inhale. Release down with your exhale. Take your feet as wide as your mat and then drop your knees into each other. Breathe here. Slow down. And then both knees into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. I'm going to take about 2 minutes to get your legs above your heart if you so desire. So you can take your body to a wall and take your legs up the wall of the Burdi Karani. You can stay right on your back here, elevate the legs. If you want to go into a handstand or any other inversion, this is the time to do it. It's pretty brief, 2 minutes. It's not terribly brief, but it's not crazy long. The transition we used in Surya Namaskara B today, in Sun Salute B, was just a little bit of a prep for handstands, that sense of kicking up and finding some air time. So you don't have to go all the way up. You can do like those little lifts like we did when we were transitioning there. This can be as restorative or as active as you need it to be. Really nice. Beautiful. Nice, Mara. Very nice, Andrew. Beautiful. You've got another minute or so. Probably mildly less, but pretty close. transition out. If you're in a headstand, please take a nice generous child's pose. If you were in a shoulders down, come through plow, take a twist or a fish pose to counter that. Really nice. We'll meet on our backs. With your right knee into your chest, holding the shin, pushing the knee back into the hands, pushing in, pulling opposition, using that to help balance the sacrum, the hips toward the shoulders so that the right hip's not further toward the shoulder than the left hip. And then reach down with your left hand, find your right foot. You're going to bring the foot gently over toward the left shoulder in that direction. Your right hand's going to support your right knee. If you prefer thread the needle, you can bring the leg up, because we never actually did it in the beginning of class. It's kind of like a tease for it. But you can take thread the needle, or we're going to stay here in reclined pigeon. And you can explore this however you want. If you want to bring that foot into your inner left elbow and then wrap and cradle that lower leg, you can do that. There's a number of variations, so if you know one that you like, go for it. And then as you are here and you are breathing, you don't have to be still. If it feels better to find it's a little like rocking and finding what you need to find in there, to go for it. And then maybe you'll find a spot that needs some attention. Maybe you'll find your center. A couple more breaths here, and then we're going to come into half happy baby. So we'll take the right hand to the pinky side of the right foot and pull the knee wide. You can put your left foot flat on the floor if that feels better to you. And then both knees come back into center. Keep the left knee and extend the right leg out. Push and pull. So you're pulling gently with the arms. You're pushing away with the knee, with the shin. And then just start to take that into this reclined pigeon pose, or whatever version is good on you. And then this can morph to whatever feels right. As we start to move toward the end of practice, or we are definitely in the end of practice, moving toward Shavasana, just know that you've done enough. It's very easy in these shorter classes to think that we have to do more. It's even easy in the long classes to think we need to do more. It's how we're usually programmed. Maybe this is just right. So in acknowledging that, you give yourself, mind and body, the opportunity to slow down, to start to quiet in preparation. And move from here into half happy baby. Transition gently. Adjust as you need. And then both knees in one more time. You can hold at the backs of the legs, at the hamstrings. You can hold at the feet. I would start here. If you're not sure, start at the hamstrings. Just start to straighten the legs up any amount. It doesn't have to be all the way. Hips stay down, please. And then if it's there for you, which it may not be, and it's totally fine, reach up and take the big toes, or take the calves, or you stay at your hamstrings. The goal is not necessarily to straighten the legs completely. It's to create length and space, to balance the pelvis and symmetry somewhat. And then rebend the legs. If there's something you need before Shavasana, now is the time to do it. And then release the legs. Release the arms, the hands, the gaze, the breath. And simply just soften. If your schedule allows, I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. If you need to come back into the world, you'll come with me now by first just deepening your breath, connecting into your hands and your feet, and then gently reintroducing movement. Maybe reach the arms overhead, bend the knees, rock up or roll to your side to come to sitting. Once you are seated, bring your hands together at your heart. Lift your heart into your thumbs and give yourself this moment, honoring that you showed up, honoring what you're capable of, and what this practice means to you. I'm so thankful that you are here today. Thanks for sharing your practice with me.